Hey guys, Justin here with Engage Marketing. Just wanted to shoot a quick video covering Google local and Google duplicate listings. Um, Pretty important. Reason being, when you have a Google local listing set up for your main business listing and you happen to have duplicate listings out there under different names, phone numbers, addresses, whatever it may be, it can confuse Google and therefore affect your ranking. So whenever we work with clients, we always, in the beginning, if we're doing an SEO or online marketing campaign for them, one of the first steps is to go through and identify all of their current local listings, duplicates included. So we want to go through and clean everything up. And at the end of the day, our goal is to get everything to match as much as possible. So you may hear us referring to, or somebody in the industry referring to it as NAP, which stands for name, address, and phone number. So we want your name, address, and phone number matched up on all of your local listings, whether that be on Google, Facebook, Yelp, City Search, Yahoo, Bing, wherever it is. We want all those sites showing the same information. So I'm going to run through real quick just how to identify if you may have some local listings out there in Google specifically, and how to potentially correct those. So I did a quick search for a dentist in my area. We just did Dentist Alpharetta, Georgia. I went through and found one that I thought probably had some duplicate listings. I have no idea who this doctor is. I have no idea who the practice is, but it was pretty easy to find a couple that probably had duplicate listings. The reason I say it was easy is because most of the time when you see a dentist name or a doctor's name by itself, that's probably going to be a duplicate listing. In Google's terms, it does specify that you can have each specific doctor, they can have their own listing, but in our experience thus far, it makes it a little bit more difficult to keep up with having 2 or 3 or 4 listings per location, and it can also affect your ranking. So we try to put everything under the same listing. That way, again, it's much easier to keep track of, but everything matches up and Google doesn't get confused and try to treat them as different businesses. So, excuse me, just doing a quick search for Dentist Alpharetta, Georgia, we found a Dr. Eric S. Atkinson. So I took his phone number and plugged it into Google, and up comes Deerfield Dentistry. So it looks like he is a dentist at Deerfield Dentistry. Deerfield Dentistry would be the actual business name. So again, that's one duplicate listing right there. Another easy way to kind of see if your actual business has the listings that may be duplicates is to go to moz.com/local, and it will pull up this page. Up here on the top right, you can click on Check My Listing. Once you click on Check My Listing, you can put your business name in as well as your zip code. If it's already in here, it will pull it up. You can click Check My Listing and see what shows. So let's use them as an example again. So Deerfield Dentistry, they're in Alpharetta. Okay, so Deerfield Dentistry, Wentworth Parkway, Alpharetta, that is the listing. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And you'll see that their current scores is 68%. Of course, with Moz Local, you can get to 87%, yada, yada, yada. This is not a pitch for Moz Local or their services. I do use them for my clients, but it's not something you just want to go into, spend the money on, and assume that everything is going to be fixed. It's one small part of the process and package, but this is mainly what I use for just doing a little bit of upfront research to see kind of what we're dealing with when we have to clean up local profiles for new clients. So you can see that we have the correct information. Deerfield Dentistry, Alpharetta, same phone number. Now here's where we get to see the duplicate info. If we click on this 4% duplicates over here, it's going to show us what other listings we have. So we do see that the Dr. Eric S. Atkinson, DDS, is showing as a duplicate. We also see another one that I didn't see first, Morrow Thomas J. MD. So within Google, this practice, from what I can see here, has 3 separate listings. So ideally, again, we'd really want to combine all these into one listing, which would be under the main business name of Deerfield Dentistry. And that's going to be good too, because all of the reviews and all the star ratings are pointed to this listing as well. So that's going to make it a little bit easier. Now to kind of the tricky part If you do figure out that you have some duplicate listings out there and you want to try to clean them up, you can do it on your own. It's not extremely difficult. It does take a little bit of know-how and some patience. So I'll walk you through a couple of basic steps that hopefully may get you on the right path. So what I would first do, again, identify what listings are duplicates out there. So right now we see that we have 3 listings, 1 for the main practice and 2 for separate doctors. My first step, and I actually just dealt with this earlier today when I was trying to merge some listings. If you can get Google on the phone, or if you can speak with support at some point, there is an option to merge all of the listings under one. So that's one option. Another option would be to permanently mark these as closed. I don't suggest that because that will a lot of times create some confusion depending on kind of what the circumstances are. So if you do have a Dr. Thomas Morrow at the practice and you mark the listing as closed and someone is actually searching for his specific name, they're going to see that the listing is closed and they're probably going to get quite confused, trying to figure out if he still works there or if he's still in business. Same thing goes with the Dr. Eric Atkinson as well. Google will tell you that if you do mark them as closed, then the more prominent listing, which would be the Deerfield Dentistry, would eventually start showing up, higher up in the searches. With experience, it can take quite a bit of time in order to get to that point. So I usually try to stay away from marking listings as closed if that's not the actual case. So best option here, if it's possible, would be to merge the listings. So again, we've got 3 listings, and let's just assume this one's already verified because it doesn't have, if we go to the business page for it, which I've already gone to, there isn't an option here that says own this business. So I do know that this has already been verified and someone owns this listing. So one option would be to start claiming the other 2 listings and get those under your Google My Business account. So what I would do is find this listing here, which this link fix duplicate should go to it. And that's giving me an error, so we'll just do it manually. So we already know that one's a duplicate, so if we type in Dr. Eric S. Atkinson into Google Maps, this is the page that we would find here. We can see that it does have an option for own this business. So if you are logged into your Google account and want to claim this listing, all you would have to do is click on own this business, which would from that point bring you to the Google My Business page. You just need to verify that the information is correct. You would click on I am authorized to manage this business and click on continue. Once you click on continue, it will give you a few different verification options if you're lucky. Best option is going to be to verify by phone, in which case you click submit and Google will call you with an automated PIN number within just a few seconds. And once you click or enter that PIN number in, you verify the listing, it's now under your account. So that's the quickest, easiest way to do it. Another option they may give you is via email, which is quick and easy as well. The slowest option is going to be by mail, which depending on the listing, you may have to do that option regardless. The other 2 may not be available. So if you do the by mail option, be prepared to wait a few days or up to a couple of weeks. Normally in past experience, the postcard will get to you in about 5 days or so, give or take. So if you do go by mail, they would just send you a postcard with the PIN number on there. Once you get the postcard, you log back in, enter the PIN, and go through the same steps as above. So let's just assume we do it by phone. You would have this business verified, and that will be under your account. And again, assuming that this Deerfield Dentistry main listing is already under your account, we've got 2 taken care of. The third one, all we would do is, I'm just going to copy his name. I'm going to go back to just the Google search, and I'm going to paste his name in again, and you'll see that his listing is showing up here too. And again, on this business, this link is active because it has not been claimed, so we would go through the same steps. I would click on the link, and we would have the information here, verify it's correct, and go through the same steps of verification by phone, email, or actual snail mail. So, assuming that everything goes smoothly, we have all 3 businesses in the account. From that point, I would then give a call to Google or try to get them to call you and start editing the listings or try to merge them. Now, in a past call, we did have all the accounts verified all the listings verified, and they were all under the same account, which is where I manage all of my clients. I had not yet made any changes to names or anything else, and they did actually make me change the listings to all the same name before they would merge the listings. So if that is the case for you as well, these 2 listings, once they're verified, you would have to go into your Google My Business account, which is just google.com/my business, and change this Dr. Atkinson listing. You would want to change that one to Deerfield Dentistry. You would also want to change the Dr. Thomas Morrow to read as Deerfield Dentistry as well. Once those are all changed, kind of the next step they made me do was then delete these 2, the duplicate listings. They made me delete those from my business account so that they could merge them. So the only one that I would have kept into my account would be the main listing with the most reviews on it. The other 2, I verified them, got them in my account. I changed the names to match up to Deerfield Dentistry so that they could see that they would be merged. They would not merge them for me if the names on the accounts were not the same. So change the names up to all to match Deerfield Dentistry. Once that was done, I deleted the accounts from my my business page, my business account. And then once that was done, they were able to merge the listings for all 3 into the main one. So I know, like I said, it can be a pain in the butt sometimes, but to get it done right, that's unfortunately the way it has to be sometimes. So if you do go that route, you can talk to Google on the phone. It's kind of a little known trick that I use all the time. In order to get in touch with Google, if you go and try to call them, you may sit on hold for a long time. If you try to get them via email or chat, that can take a long time as well. So quickest route for me has always been in the past to find this page, which you can see up here on the top. It's support.google.com/business/contact. And there's a string of characters after it as well. Sometimes you can find it if we click on Fix Issue and then maybe go to Ownership or Access My Business. Other problem, sometimes it's in these options, but the quickest way to get to it is just to type it in. You can also Google something like Google My Business Phone Support, and the link should show up there as well. So once you get here, you're just going to fill this information in. Since I'm an agency, this is what I always do is mark the I work for an agency. If you were the owner, you can obviously change that up. You would want to click on for your issue. You'd want to say probably business information and edits. Type the business name in there, the business address, and then put the actual URL of the listing. That's just going to help them find the information they need. It does give you directions up here on how to find that, but it will basically be the same way we found these. You would find your Google search, type in the information, and then copy and paste the address up here. Once we get that done, we can just mark Google My Business on your computer as far as how we manage it. All we're going to click is Next from there. Assuming all these fields are filled in, it's going to bring you to the next screen where you're going to enter in your name, email, and phone number. And once you click on Submit from that point, it's going to shoot you an automated call, put you on hold for just a second, and then a Google account rep should be on the line with you pretty quickly. Sometimes it's a little difficult to get across what you're trying to do, so they are there to help you, so just be patient. Explain what you're trying to do and give them as much detail as possible. And 99% of the time, I've never really had an issue. Sometimes it just takes a little bit longer to get, what we're looking for to get done than other times. So follow the basic steps, have all of the footwork kind of complete beforehand, and it'll go a little bit quicker. So again, if we get into your My Business account and you've got the listings there, that's going to make things a lot easier. They'll be able to see what listings you're talking about and just tell them which listings you want to have merged. And just make sure you have them all merged under the main account. So hopefully that answered some questions. We have these discussions with clients all the time. I just wanted to try to help you out a little bit. So hopefully that gets you started on the right path. Any questions or anything, comments, whatnot, leave in the comment section. I'll try to address them as quick as possible. And hopefully we're able to help you out. So thanks for watching.